Hi, I'm attorney Mike Davis, and a lot of clients have been looking at my website and paying particular attention to some information I've written about serving divorce papers in Pennsylvania. This is something that in a low-cost divorce is usually done with a signature. And so serving your spouse in the classic sense would mean through a full-service law firm engaging the sheriff's deputy or a constable and paying that person with your money to go out, locate your spouse, and hand your spouse the divorce papers. Now, if you're separated less than a year, that process will begin your 90-day waiting period that's required under Pennsylvania law if you're separated less than a year. When the 90 days are over, however, you're going to have to get a notarized signature from your spouse on a document consenting to the divorce, and you'll sign that document also. So if your spouse is willing to sign the second document, there's no need to begin the 90-day waiting period by paying someone to serve your spouse, because that can be done having your spouse sign a different document where your spouse simply says, "I received my copy," signs it, dates it, and your 90 days are started without the expense of a sheriff's deputy or constable. Now, in certain cases, when a spouse becomes uncooperative, and it's a case based on less than 1 year separation, I tell clients, if your spouse won't sign the first document, contact me right away, because we can get around that first document by serving your spouse. And something that a lot of lawyers don't seem to understand is you don't need a constable or a sheriff's deputy to serve divorce papers. In fact, anybody who's an adult and who's not related to you or your spouse and not an employee of you or your spouse can actually serve divorce papers. So you might say, well, if my spouse won't sign the first paper, what's the purpose of having him served or her served? If you do not start that 90 days, 90 days will pass. So if we get the 90 days begun by having your spouse served, the 90 days are over, all you need is 1 day beyond the 90 days when your spouse will relent and agree to sign the papers. That might happen on the 91st day, it might happen 30 days later, it might happen some months later. But you'll have that second paper handy, and when your spouse finally says, okay, I've changed my mind, I'll sign the document, then we can finish your divorce at that point. If you did not take the step to have your spouse served, when your spouse finally changes your spouse's mind and says, I will sign, you're going to have your 90 days ahead of you instead of behind you. So it makes eminent sense, in my opinion, to file your case, get your spouse served, and wait your 90 days, and then as soon as your spouse says, I will sign, you can complete your divorce. Now, I alluded to the fact that in Pennsylvania, you don't have to use a sheriff's deputy or a constable to serve papers, but any person who's not related to you or your spouse. This means it has to be as a friend. Your friend can go to your spouse's door, spouse answers the door, hi, I'm so-and-so, are you so-and-so? Yeah. Hands them a plain envelope with the divorce papers in it. Then that friend of yours goes, signs a document saying, I served so-and-so at such a place and time, and your 90 days are begun. So there's no sense in spending money on a sheriff's deputy or a constable or anybody else to serve papers when it can be done for free by someone you know or someone who's willing to help you. If you have any questions about serving your spouse, you can call me before you begin your divorce, toll free for a free consultation, 1-800-486-4070. Thanks for watching this.